Emily had always been drawn to the mystique of old, forgotten relics. She frequented flea markets, garage sales, and estate auctions, searching for hidden gems that held stories from the past. It was on one such exploration that she stumbled upon the dilapidated house on the outskirts of town. The house stood as a ghostly reminder of days gone by, its windows shattered and its once vibrant paint now faded and chipped. Curiosity drove Emily forward as she pushed open the creaking front door. The musty scent of neglect greeted her, causing a shiver to run down her spine. Undeterred, she began to explore the house, room by room, her footsteps echoing through the silent halls. As she ascended the creaky staircase, Emily's gaze was drawn to a door slightly ajar. A sense of anticipation coursed through her veins, urging her to investigate further. The door led to a narrow hallway, dimly lit by a solitary window that allowed only a sliver of pale sunlight to penetrate the gloom. At the end of the hallway, a door stood ajar, revealing a hidden attic space. Eager to uncover what lay beyond, Emily cautiously climbed the final steps. The attic was a treasure trove of forgotten memories. Dust-covered furniture, broken toys, and faded photographs were scattered haphazardly across the floor. In the far corner, amidst the chaos, sat a small rocking chair, its wood worn and weathered. It was there, upon the rocking chair, that Emily's eyes fell upon the haunted doll. The doll appeared old and worn, with chipped porcelain skin and tattered clothing. Its glassy eyes seemed to pierce through Emily's soul, drawing her closer. Hesitant, she reached out a trembling hand to touch its delicate features. The moment her fingertips brushed against the doll's surface, a chill crept up her arm, causing her to recoil in both fear and fascination. The doll emitted an eerie energy, and Emily's heart fluttered with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Despite her instincts warning her to leave the doll behind, an inexplicable connection had formed between them. Emily decided to take it home, believing she could unlock its secrets and give it a new lease on life. Emily's decision to bring the haunted doll into her home marked the beginning of a nightmarish descent into darkness. The once peaceful haven was now plagued by an unseen malevolent presence. It began subtly, with odd occurrences that could easily be dismissed as mere coincidences. Objects would inexplicably move from their designated places overnight, forcing Emily to constantly search for misplaced items. She would hear faint whispers echoing through the empty rooms, and the walls seemed to emit an unexplained chill, even on the warmest of days. As time passed, these incidents grew more frequent and unsettling. The doll itself seemed to possess a life of its own. Emily would often find it in different positions, its glassy eyes fixed upon her with an unnerving intensity. One night, as she lay in bed, she heard the faint sound of a music box playing a haunting melody. Following the sound, she discovered the doll perched atop her dresser, its tiny hand slowly turning the key of a music box. Nightmares soon plagued Emily's sleep. She would wake in a cold sweat, her heart pounding, unable to shake the feeling of a malevolent presence looming over her. Dark shadows danced at the edges of her vision, and whispers echoed through her mind, taunting her with their unintelligible words. Physical manifestations of the doll's wrath soon followed. Emily would wake to find deep scratches etched across her arms and legs, as if an unseen force had clawed at her flesh during the night. The once harmonious atmosphere of her home became tainted with an oppressive heaviness, leaving her perpetually on edge. Desperate to find answers, Emily reached out to paranormal experts and conducted her own research. The doll's origins remained a mystery, but rumors began to surface that it was once owned by a young girl named Lily. Tragically, Lily had died in the very house where Emily had discovered the doll, and it was said that her spirit had become trapped within it. Armed with this knowledge, Emily sought the help of Dr. Samuel, a renowned paranormal investigator. Together, they embarked on a journey to communicate with Lily's spirit, hoping to understand her anger and find a way to bring peace to both the doll and themselves. Their seances and rituals were met with chilling results. The doll would move on its own, levitate in the air, and emit disembodied whispers. Emily and Dr. Samuel were confronted with the tormented spirit of Lily, her voice filled with anger and sorrow. It became clear that only by appeasing Lily's spirit could they hope to break free from the haunting grip of the doll. But the task proved more challenging than they anticipated. Lily's rage seemed insatiable, and her demands grew increasingly impossible to fulfill. It was as if the spirit of the young girl had become consumed by darkness, lost to her own pain and resentment. determined to uncover the truth behind the haunted doll and put an end to the torment. Emily delved deep into researching the history of the house and its previous occupants. She scoured old newspaper clippings, visited local archives, and even interviewed elderly residents who might hold fragments of information about the tragic events that had unfolded within those walls. Through her tireless efforts, Emily discovered that the haunted doll had once belonged to a young girl named Lily Montgomery. Lily had lived in the house with her parents, Charles and Elizabeth Montgomery, during the late 19th century. Tragically, the Montgomery family had suffered a devastating fire that claimed their lives, leaving Lily's spirit trapped within the doll. Rumors and local folklore suggested that Lily's spirit, consumed by anger and grief, sought revenge on those who had wronged her. The doll became the conduit for her malevolence, harboring her vengeful energy. Emily knew that appeasing Lily's spirit was the only way to find peace, but she needed guidance and expertise beyond her own capabilities. In her quest for help, Emily sought out the renowned paranormal investigator, Dr. Samuel. With his expertise in dealing with supernatural entities, he seemed like their best hope to understand Lily's plight and find a way to appease her tormented spirit. Together, Emily and Dr. Samuel embarked on a series of intense investigations and rituals. They conducted seances, set up motion-activated cameras, and analyzed the energy patterns within the house. As they delved deeper into the spiritual realm, they were met with increasingly terrifying encounters. During one particularly chilling seance, the room plunged into darkness as a malevolent presence filled the air. The doll, positioned at the center of the circle, suddenly came to life. Its eyes glowed with an unholy light, and its mouth moved as if attempting to form words. Dr. Samuel and Emily strained to decipher the garbled whispers, desperate to understand Lily's tortured message. Through the chaos and fear, they managed to piece together fragments of Lily's story. They learned of her painful death in the fire that had consumed her family, her desperate plea for justice, and her anguish at being trapped within the doll. The investigators realized that only by bringing closure to Lily's unresolved past could they hope to break the cycle of torment. Driven by a shared determination to free Lily's spirit and bring an end to the cursed doll, Emily and Dr. Samuel embarked on a perilous journey. Guided by the whispers of Lily's spirit, they ventured deep into the forgotten corners of the house, unearthing long-buried secrets and hidden memories. In a hidden compartment within the attic, they discovered a charred box filled with remnants of the Montgomery family's past. It held photographs, letters, and a journal belonging to Lily's mother, Elizabeth. Within its pages, Emily and Dr. Samuel uncovered the truth behind the tragic fire that had claimed their lives. The fire was no accident. It was a malicious act of arson, orchestrated by Charles Montgomery's business rival, Frederick Harrington. Driven by greed and envy, Harrington had set the Montgomery house ablaze, hoping to eliminate his competition once and for all. The Montgomery family, including young Lily, had perished in the inferno. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Emily and Dr. Samuel devised a plan to confront Lily's spirit and bring the truth to light. They set up a final seance, surrounded by photographs of the Montgomery family, fragments of their belongings, and the haunted doll itself. The atmosphere crackled with anticipation as they called out to Lily, urging her to make her presence known. As the seance reached its crescendo, the room became charged with an otherworldly energy. The doll levitated in the air, spinning and twirling, while the air grew thick with an ethereal mist. Emily and Dr. Samuel locked eyes, their determination unwavering, as they pleaded with Lily's spirit to reveal herself and find peace. And then, in a sudden burst of blinding light, Lily materialized before them. Her translucent figure hovered in the air, her eyes radiating a mix of sorrow and rage. Emily and Dr. Samuel could feel the weight of her pain, the depth of her suffering. It was clear that justice had to be served. With a voice filled with determination, Emily confronted Lily's spirit, revealing the truth about Frederick Harrington's treachery. She implored Lily to release her anger and find solace in the knowledge that her family's wrongful deaths would not go unpunished. For a moment, it seemed as though Lily's spirit had found peace. Her form began to fade, and a sense of tranquility settled over the room. But as the final echoes of the seance died down, a sinister laughter filled the air, shattering the fragile peace they had fought so hard to achieve.